You know, we've spent the past 2 weeks being able to talk about the root causes of toxicity, as well as also potentially how you actually may be toxic. But in this video, we want to begin to provide a two-step approach with a great first step on how you can be able to detox from relationships in your family, with loved ones, and even that significant other. So if you're ready, like how I am, let's get into how we do detox part 3. Let's get into it. I'm DC Howard. If you want to know more about me, as well as this company, feel free to click the link above that you're seeing right now. Also, if you want to be able to get more information about this series, because we've done 2 parts prior to today, you'll be able to look at part 1, which should be right here. And you can be able to look at part 2, which should be right here. All right, perfect. Well, once again, this is part 3 of this series of detox. And as we started off all before, we want to be able to define the word detox. Actually, not the word detox, but the word toxic. As toxic is, simply put, poisonous material that is capable of causing death or serious debilitation. Once again, if you will, toxic is poisonous material that is capable of causing death or serious debilitation. And so we want to make sure that you're able to understand the root causes of toxicity, as well as also if you, yes, you might actually be toxic. But now we're going to focus on how do you go about detoxing when it comes to those family relationships, those relationships with friends and loved ones, that relationship with your significant other. And the first, if you will, method that we're going to talk about this week is entitled flushing. Just like how if you were to flush a toilet, which is F-L-U-S-H-I-N-G, or even the particular area of Queens, New York, Flushing, Queens. But nevertheless, we're going to be talking about flushing. Is if you would flush a toilet, as I mentioned earlier. But in this context, we're going to talk about being able to flush out toxins, and we're going to give a 4-step approach to that on today. And so when it comes down to if you've ever been poisoned, or if you've ever had an issue when it comes to poisoning, if you've ever talked to a medical professional or a poison control center, the thing that they will tell you is that you want to be able to flush out the toxins from your system. And so what flushing does is it's being able to utilize another fluid or another particular substance to be able to overtake and push out what is that poisonous material that's within your system. And so how do we go about flushing out, if you will, toxicity in relationships? Well, it's a 4-part method that we're going to talk about. So here's strategy number 1 when it comes to flushing out toxicity in a relationship is number 1, you have to be vulnerable. And if you've been able to actually look at our series from previously, we did an actual series called Family Matters, where we talk specifically about vulnerability. And I'm actually going to put the link right now that's there, so you'll be able to see that particular, if you will, series of Tactic Thursday. But when it comes to vulnerability in this context, is being able to be open enough to say, you know what, I actually need to fix this. This is a problem. And so very often in relationships that we have is that we're not willing to actually be open enough, in which the reality is we're actually exposing ourselves to potential attack by us being able to be bold enough to say, hey, I'm not liking how this relationship is going, whether it be with a family member, whether it be with a friend, whether it be with our significant other. And so being able to be vulnerable to potential attack is the first step when it comes to being able to flushing out toxicity in a relationship. The second thing when it comes to being able to flushing out toxicity in a relationship, in which I've kind of already, if you will, referenced it, is just like how you have to be vulnerable, is that number 2, you have to be able to open communication. You have to, once again, be able to open communication. And so when it comes down to, you have, of course, first started off being vulnerable, is now you have to be open to that communication. Meaning that now that you've spoken your piece, you have to be willing to listen to the other side as well. And so, for instance, let's give an example, excuse me, when it comes down to your family, is let's say that you're an individual that you have been dealing with, if you will, your sibling kind of looking down on you for years and years on end. And you finally say, you know what, sibling, I'm really tired of you looking at me a particular way. And if you will, treating me a particular way, and I want to see this change. Well, now you have to be willing to hear your sibling side of the conversation and the fact that they may have felt as if growing up that you got more attention because either you were the younger child, you were the older child, or you were just the specific child that your parents seemed to enjoy and dote upon. You have to be, if you will, open up the lines of communication. So that's, if you will, strategy point number 2 when it comes to flushing out toxicity in a relationship. Now, let's go to strategy point number 3. Strategy point number 3 when it comes to flushing out toxicity in a relationship is, simply put, letting go. Once again, strategy point number 3 when it comes to being able to handle toxicity in a relationship is, simply put, letting go. And that can oftentimes be so very hard because here's the reality. All of us have emotions. All of us have feelings. And we know that our feelings and our emotions are legitimate. But if we really want to be able to get rid of the toxicity in our relationships, there are times where we have to personally let go. Another word of this is called forgiveness. I know that's a huge particular factor. But in order for you to truly be able to have peace and be able to have freedom in your own psyche, in your own self, is that you have to be willing to let go of whatever grudge, whatever past issues, whatever, if you will, hurt that you have, or if you will, issues that you have towards this person, so that you can be able to move on with your life. And so that's strategy point number 3, is being able to let go. And that's how you're able to flush out the toxicity of relationships. And then lastly, strategy point number 4, when it comes to being able to flush out the toxicity of relationships, is being able to have transparency in how you move forward. Once again, strategy point number 4 is having transparency on how do you move forward. So you've been able to be vulnerable with this individual. You've opened up lines of communication with this individual. You've been able to let go of whatever baggage that you had before. And so now have transparency on how do you move forward. It may be that this relationship is strained at the point to where you're not able to talk with one another for a certain amount of time. Make sure that you both have an understanding of that. It may be that now you're able to make up and you're able to continue to relate and be able to engage with communication with one another. Let each other know about that. But whatever it is that you choose to do moving forward, make sure that both sides are in agreement as well as in alignment with what it is that you're going to do. So there you have it. That's, if you will, the method of flushing, being able to allow those toxins to get out of that system and begin to truly detox those relationships that you have with that family member, with those friends, with those loved ones, and with that significant other. And once again, that 4-part method is, number 1, being able to be vulnerable, being able to just share what it is on your heart and being open to the potential of what might be said around that. Number 2, being able to open lines of communication, making sure that you're able to speak your piece, but that you also hear the piece of the other individual or individuals in the matter. Number 3, being able to let go. Another word for that is forgiveness. Being able to say, you know what? I'm no longer going to hold those grudges. I'm no longer going to hold that feeling towards these individuals or that individual. And then number 4, having transparency about how do you go about moving forward. So I hope this particular strategy of this Tactic Thursday has been helpful for you, and I definitely want to make sure that you get even more help. So stay tuned on how you can be able to get that here with us at Wayineers. Hey everybody, this is DC Howard, founder and principal coach of Wayineers, the care coach that's career and relationship excellence for the millennial, especially our Black millennials. Listen, we are excited to be able to premiere some brand new things just for you, in the fact that we're going to now have on our website, www.wayineers.com, a new resources section where you're going to be able to download free as well as also some paid resources that'll be just for you when it comes to being able to, if you will, further enhance our Tactic Thursdays. We're also going to premiere a members area where just for a very, very cheap fee that you can be able to connect with me, be able to get exclusive, that's right, exclusive content that won't be anywhere else, as well as also practical resources to be able to make sure that you're excellent in your career and your relationships. Once again, if you want to be able to access that, go to our website, www.wayineers.com. Thank you so very much for watching this video. And here are a quick 6 things that I would like for you to do after now watching this video. Number 1, if you really enjoyed the content that you saw today, be able to click a thumbs up to be able to like and support this particular video as well as our channel. Number 2, in the comment section. Type some comments about what you liked about this video, as well as also if there are particular things that you would like for us to talk more about or be able to share more about in future videos that we have. Number 3, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Go ahead and subscribe to us so you can be a part of our total Wayineers network that we're able to have all across the world. Number 4, click on that get notifications bell so you, yes, you are the very first individual to be able to know about the fresh new content that we deliver each and every single week. Number 5, follow us on social media. We're on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube, all with the handle @Wayineers. And then number 6, look in our description. Once again, look in our description and you can book a session with us. You can have a session with us here at Wayineers and myself, DC Howard, founder and principal coach, master certified life coach, and the care coach that stands for career and relationship excellence coach for the millennial and specifically our Black millennials, where you can be able to get a absolutely free 30-minute exploratory session, as well as also we have session plans that are available for you, and we want to be able to connect with you. So look in our description. Go ahead and go to our website, which is wayineers.com. It's in the description, so click on that as well. Thank you all so very much. Time is the most valuable non-renewable resource, and so we truly, truly appreciate that you spent that time with us here today. And once again, we here at Wayineers want to make sure you reach your destination success by letting us help you calculate your route. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and we look forward to seeing and speaking with you soon.